all. I'm coming to you live from my kitchen while I cook supper. So this video is going to be all about executive power. So we're going to be looking at different ways that the president exercises executive power, the source of executive power, and then some checks on it as well. So just a refresher, executive power under the Articles of Confederation, there basically was none. So under the Articles, we had the legislative branch. The legislative branch basically did everything, and there really was no executive branch. So that was one of the reasons that we needed a new constitution so we could have a strong executive, okay? So the source of executive power in the United States Constitution, as we've learned in class, is found in Article 2 of the United States Constitution. And Article 2 of the Constitution specifically says that the executive power of the United States will be vested in a president. Okay, that one little line right there that I just told you, it's sometimes called the Wildcard Clause. And the reason for that is, well, what is a wild card? Think about when you're playing Uno. A wild card could be whatever you want it to be. So the Constitution doesn't necessarily say this is what executive power is, and this is what executive power isn't. So presidents throughout history have used that wild card clause for a variety of things, basically as a reason or as a source of their power. So the immediate needs of the nation are also a way that the president utilizes executive power. So for example, when Abraham Lincoln was president, he decided that it was a good idea to suspend the writ of habeas corpus. Remember the writ of habeas corpus, that's the power, basically your right as a citizen to be brought to court and told what you're accused of if you have been charged with a crime. When Lincoln took that away, that basically allowed people who got arrested, specifically like Confederate officers, to be tossed in jail and left there without a trial, okay? So immediate needs of the nation is another source of executive power. We also have the mandate of the people. Now, this word mandate, and this was in your vocabulary for this unit, the word mandate means like a requirement. Mandate kind of sounds like mandatory. And if something is mandatory, you have to do it, right? So if a president gets elected in what we call like a landslide, okay? So in 1932, President Roosevelt got elected in a landslide. A lot of states voted for him, okay? Then his platform, or the ideas that he was running on, he's said to have a mandate for, okay? So if the people elect you, that basically says, well, they want you to do what you're what you said you were going to do. So that could be a source of your executive power as well. You could say, well, this is what the people elected me to do because I said I was going to do it. By golly, this is going to happen, okay? We also do have some limits on power. That's one of the cool things about the way our government is set up. We have a powerful executive, a powerful legislative, and a powerful judicial branch, but they all kind of check each other, which is super cool. All right, so Congress can limit the president's power in a few different ways. They can, of course, override any veto that the president makes on a bill. They also, specifically the Senate, has the authority to approve any presidential nominations to the judicial branch or to the executive branch itself. The Supreme Court and the other federal courts also have a check on the executive branch. The way that they check the executive branch is through judicial review. Yes, we're going to sing it. Marbury v. Madison, what did it do? It established the principle of judicial review. Judicial review, what is that? The court's power to say what is whack. Yes. So the court can declare an act of Congress unconstitutional, but they can also do the same thing to the president. For example, with our current climate, the Supreme Court or other federal courts could possibly declare presidential action, such as the president's state of emergency. They could declare that unconstitutional, okay? And we also have the limit based on public opinion. So if all of a sudden you get a lot of feedback from the public through a variety of sources that they just really don't like what you're doing, maybe you could make some changes to the policies that you said you were going to adopt. Otherwise, you may not get reelected, okay? So there is a brief overview of the sources of power. And if you guys have any questions, let me know.